Welcome back
Yes.
to our living room.
Oh, I love it.
We're still here. It's still a little warm
Oh, and humid.
and very humid. So I'm continuing to show compassion. We learned about compassion last
Yes,
week with
I
the
know.
prodigal son.
I appreciate it.
So here we are, and it looks like you have a new throne. You're looking very royal, regal today.
I'm sitting up higher in the world. I'm all in pink, and I'm feeling pretty good.
Well, you're looking good, Queenie. Yeah. And we're excited because it's not only a new month, it's September.
A new word.
A new word. And what is our word of this week?
Abundance. And when I think of abundance, and when the dictionary thought of it, it turns out to be a great amount. I always think of it's just overflowing.
Yes.
And in fact, I use that word because I have an abundant life.
Yes.
Full of blessings, full of joy. And so I like that word.
I think it's a great word. I love the thought of the abundant life, more than enough. I love the thought of overflowing. We are overflowing with this incredible life.
Yes.
But some people may not be feeling that right now.
That's right.
There's a lot of people struggling. And in our Bible study on Sunday night, in fact, our lesson was on the great banquet.
Yes.
And it really is a story about the abundant life that Jesus offers us, not only for eternity, but now.
Yeah.
And I just think it's a great story. And my friend Janet, I beamed in my friend Janet, and
she was so good.
She was so good, and it was such a God thing. She wasn't my originally scheduled guest, but I think God had a much better plan, as always.
Yes.
But the thing that I loved about Janet and her story is she's had a lot of loss.
Yes.
Not only could she not have her own children, which was a disappointment, she had fertility issues, so they ended up adopting 3 children, 2 biracial children and 1 Chinese child, and her one son died at age 10 of cancer. So I can't imagine. You've lost a child, and we've talked about that, how
at
hard.
Any age, it's a terrible thing.
Yeah, and then a few years later, she lost her husband of ALS.
Yes.
So a lot of loss, but when I listened to her, she had a joy, a peace about her.
She did. She just kept going and made it a good life.
Right.
And I really enjoyed hearing about her, and she thinks she has an abundant life.
She absolutely does. And I think the lesson there is, and she just has a joy about her, and it's her faith. Yeah. And she talked about just leaning into the Lord during these difficult times, but how her kids still really struggle.
Yeah.
So she has such a strong faith. But I think the lesson here is an abundant life doesn't mean an easy life. No. And I love John 16:33. In this world you will have trouble.
Yes.
But I have overcome this world. So, and this is a time of trouble. It's getting old, this whole coronavirus and all of the division with elections and racial tensions, and it's a really difficult time. And so how can we have this abundant life even in our struggles?
It has to come from within. Mm-hmm. It has to come from our faith, knowing that we're not alone in this struggle.
Absolutely.
We have God with us, and He wants the best for us. We have to focus. We have to focus on our faith, that God's with us every day, and don't let these other things take a hold of you so that you forget all you have.
Yes.
I just feel we have to go on. For some reason or other, we've been hit by a lot of things. Mm-hmm. But it's your attitude, and I don't want to be Pollyannish. It's the good attitude and the hope.
The hope.
We always have
it's
to
really
have
the hope. Yeah, we have to have hope for better days ahead. And
There will be.
Yeah, and you can have difficult times. It's just a matter of not staying in there. You can, of course, we all have down days, but the whole point is how can we get back up? And a lot of times we can't on our own, but with the Lord and surrounded by a community of people who love us, that's who pick us up.
That's the other thing. Yes.
Yeah, it's often it's our faith in the Lord first and foremost, but it's the people around us. I love the story, and we heard it this church this weekend. The wreck the roof, when the paralytic man, he could not get to Jesus, but his friends were determined. Yeah. And what did they do? They wrecked the roof. Yes. They went up on a roof, cut a hole in it, and lowered him down. Yeah. And it was his friend's faith that healed him. Yeah. And in difficult times like this, and in trying to just even take that next step and get out of bed, we need people around us to encourage, to nudge us, sometimes to kick us in the butt. You were good at that growing up.
Oh, yes. Tom used to salute me, you know.
Yes, the salutes. That's where the saluting started.
I was tough, but he turned out to be a great man.
Yes, and he sure did.
So did my other children.
Yes.
But we have to have some discipline about it. Yeah. We have to have friends. We have to have people who love us, who really love us and are there for us. And we have to reach out to people that don't have anybody. And they are the ones that are suffering the most.
Yeah, this is a time to keep our eyes open for those who are really hurting, and we've all been hurting. But there are people who are really, really struggling, who are in a season of real darkness, and we all know that there are seasons in life, not only seasons of darkness, but I think of one of the big obstacles for me in enjoying the abundant life is distraction and busyness.
Oh, yes.
And, you know, I just remember growing up, we were busy. And, you know, it didn't, I feel like you have found and grown to discover the abundant life in your later years, because earlier we were so busy just trying to survive.
Oh, I know. Working, homework. Yeah. I mean, chores.
The day-to-day responsibilities.
Much money to work with.
Yeah.
And so I look back on it, I was happy.
Yeah.
I didn't know any better.
Right.
But
we still had joy.
We pulled it together.
Yeah.
We pulled together. The older children helped the younger. I thought we had a great life.
We did.
And now it's time, you know, that door has shut. We've got another door open now. Right. The children are grown up with lives of their own, with new things to be with.
Yeah, but I think you hit on such a good point. It is possible to even find that joy in abundant life despite your busyness, and we certainly had times of that. Yeah. It seemed like a busy time, but we had real moments of joy. I remember just the holidays coming home were always so wonderful. Yeah. And I think now a person who really represents that is my friend Marilyn.
Oh, yes.
And talk about busy. She has she's single. She has 3 children in 3 different schools, one in high school, middle school, and elementary. So just to keep up with the emails on all the e-learning, and plus she's working full-time on her own business. So,
and has her mother.
And she has her mother and her grandmother she's taking care of too, right there next door. So talk about a full, busy life. But the thing that is so amazing about Marilyn is she has such a peace and joy through it.
Yes.
Plus, she's had health issues. She's had so many health issues, days where she couldn't get out of bed. Oh. But I just think she exemplifies so much of when I think of somebody.
She's the first one to show up if you ask for help.
Right, right. And she shows up with a smile and a joy. The only struggle for her now is she's a hugger. So she wants to hug everybody.
Yeah, I'm a hugger too.
And that's so hard. Yeah.
It's very
hard not to hug.
This elbow stuff isn't the same.
No, it's not. But we just want to encourage you that this abundant life is there. God has given us that invitation. Yeah. And it's really about growing in our relationship with Him, where we will find and discover that peace and that joy. And
don't let the circumstances get you down.
Yes.
Know that the center of all this is God and our faith.
Yes, absolutely.
And that things will get better.
Yes.
That we'll see them as being better through our joyful eyes.
That's right.
We're just not going to go negative and have,
nothing negative. That's our family
Yep.
slogan.
That was Tom's slogan too.
Nothing negative.
Yeah.
And we're going to grow through this time. Difficult
We are.
times
Yeah,
are
we are.
growing times, and God, we've talked about in church, God is not going to waste this pandemic. Don't
No.
let this pandemic
Yeah.
be wasted. Use this time to grow in your relationship with the Lord, and the abundant life
Yeah.
will arrive. It's a gradual thing too, you know,
It
and you'll
is.
wake up one day and you'll go, wow,
Yeah.
I have joy and I have peace despite
Despite my
the difficulties.
circumstances.
It's having that calm and peace through
Yeah.
these tough
Rise
times.
above it. I
Yeah.
always used to
Right.
say, it's hard, it's easy to say, not so easy
Right.
to do.
Right.
But we have so much. We have an abundant life.
Right.
So let's live it, and show others how to live it too.
That's right.
And I promise you, you won't regret it. I think it's time for us to skip off.
Do you notice that she always gets the last word?
Well,
like
I
if
don't
she starts
mean to.
waving, it's over. I don't even have a say in it.
Well, you
But
can
I think
overdo it,
that's-
Julie.
Yes, we can
You
have
know?
an abundant
Yeah.
broadcast. Now that's something we don't want to do.
Keep 'em interested.
Yes, and then we let them fly. We
so
let them go. So
less
yes,
is more.
less is more at times.
Yes.
Absolutely. But
I
we
know.
just hope and pray that you have an abundant week.
We
A
do.
week that's
Yeah.
full, even though there may be difficulties, that you forge on, that you
Yeah.
look to the Lord and
Yeah.
surround yourself by people who will help you grow in your faith. And that's what we're trying to
Yes.
do.
We
To
are.
inspire people and help them grow. So we're gonna have an abundant afternoon.
We are.
We're doing some work,
Yep.
some writing.
I
so
love
it's exciting.
to do work.
Yes.
Julie can tell you that.
She's a worker, and
Everybody
she's got me
worked
working.
in my house.
That's right. If you were within any distance of Mama, you were working.
Yeah.
But there's joy in that. You can
There
find
is.
joy and abundance in your
And
work.
there's success in that too.
And it leads to good
Yeah.
fruit.
You know.
Absolutely. So,
So,
okay.
anyway,
We
we'll see
love
you
you,
next
and we're
week.
so grateful you tuned in. And
Yes.
we'll see you next week.
Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.